is about action points for annual book closure under GST. Is basically year-end activities to be taken care in terms. So with this year-end transactions or year-end activities, year-end action points in terms of GST point of view, is basically there are only couple of points only there which are having any specific due date kind of aspects before March 31st March we have to do it from the GST law point of view. But the most of the points are not having any specific due date, because we are talking about year-end transaction. It is not that there is a specific due date to be complied with before 31st March. That is not the intention. There are some points which has to be done before 31st March, but most of the points or actions pointers will be not having any specific deadline, but which are very important from the book closure point. Supplies as per books and GST returns. Books versus GST are 1, GST are 3B, and any amendments, if at all anything is there, those things also has to be done. Turnover wise, taxes wise, everything has to be done. So those reconciliation has to be done. The next one is rate wise reconciliations. Books versus GST are 1, including tax ledgers, 3B for RCM and everything. Those reconciliations has to be performed. Okay. Yeah, why we are doing all this reconciliation, everything, whatever we are going to discuss today, is because books are going to be closed in terms of financial statements will be closed by 31st March, right? So before doing that, we have so many other aspects which will be closed by 31st March. And accordingly 990 will be filed, returns also has to be filed, ITC also will be there. There are some columns in the 3B and also 999C where the current year related aspects to be disclosed in the next year. Those kind of aspects are there. That too, apart from that, while closure of the books also, it will be very clear. So if you have all the reconciliations, all the GST complaints are properly complied with, then it will become easy in terms of facing with the department also. And the year-end reconciliations and all the formats, 990C, everything will become easy if you are complying with all the year-end aspects in terms of GST. Whether ITC has been reversed on entries past due to writing of inventories, okay, assets, theft, sample, destruction, obsolete, gifts, these kind of things has to be taken care, because most of the time this observation also I've seen very commonly I've seen in the assessees where some goods are theft happened, some samples has been given, but GST has not been paid, or goods are destroyed. In the pharma industry, the destruction of the goods will happen if it is expiry happens or something, or some damage happened. That is the reason it is no use of doing further production, better to destroy only. Or otherwise, sometimes we write off those things. Sometimes we may give gift also, sample also. These kind of aspects, we have to be very careful wherever ITC, if we can able to identify those goods and ITC on that has been taken, better to reverse as per section 17(5). Okay, if at all we are not able to identify and they are not able to identify, that is the reason we simply assessors are ignoring this aspect. We can't ignore that, because there is another catch or another place where this will be get caught by the department. What is that other place? That other place is about schedule 1. Okay, supply definition, schedule 1, where in first entry itself says permanent or temporary disposal of business assets where input tax credit has been taken. If that is the thing which has happened without consideration, if you do also, that is a supply, and GST accordingly has to be paid as per schedule 1 of the supply definition. So that is the reason either two places we may fall under this case, wherever theft, sample, destruction or gift, all the cases happen. If we can able to identify the input or the goods which you are going to destroy, sample or whatever, better to reverse. If it is not there, pay output liability based on schedule 1 of the supply definition. And then verify compliance with the ISD provisions, which already we have discussed. ISD from 1st April 2025 onwards is mandatory. This ISD provisions which we discussed, right, where corporate office will distribute the ITC to the other states and all, right? So that is there from this GST beginning onwards, 2017 onwards, but which is optional. But from 1st April 2025 onwards, wherever any assessee or any company is having more than one registration, the ISD has to be ISD registration has to be taken, which is mandatory, and the compliance also is mandatory.